How do you do an introduction? Because we're not doing like a show or anything.
Hey. I guess that's how you started. I don't know. We're here. We're not filming our normal videos.
We're not.
We're gonna do like a scenario test play.
It's just a casual video.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Just,
show
off the cuff.
everybody what this mission's all about. Give tournament goers an idea of what they can expect from this mission.
And most of all, it's another play test.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this is supposed to be the last play test of this mission.
Yeah.
Down in Goblin Town. So it's been a long time since I've been working on this terrain, and somehow, it ends up taking up until the last minute to get it finished. But yeah, are you going to play your dwarves, or are you going to play this army that I have here?
It's already out, so I might just play that one.
Okay. So we should talk about the mission a bit.
Yeah.
So the idea of this mission is you're fighting a battle. You start basically 6 inches on, but you start on like the Goblin Town boardwalks that are leading onto the map, which will be 4 per side. The thing is that it's in Goblin Town, and the Goblin King is in the mission as a neutral model. And with him on his platform are 18 goblins.
Yeah.
In addition to that, there could be more goblins added.
Set up as a ambush.
Goblin ambushers.
Yeah, because the way the mission is, because you're fighting in Goblin Town, there's not really a lot of horses and stuff that can be mobile in Goblin Town on the rickety planks.
Yeah.
Or like large flying creatures. So this mission, it's only this one. Anything that's mounted will be dismounted at the start of the game. If it's a model that can make a courage test to see if it runs away,
like a warg rider.
Like a warg rider. You can roll for the warg to see if it sticks around, but if it's a horse, you have to the horse takes off.
Or a fell beast.
Or a fell beast, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big negative too. Like if you're playing a force with a lot of mounted models and you lose all your mounts at the beginning,
yeah.
You're losing a considerable amount of points.
You are. So to counter that, we have put a way in to give that person a bit of a catch-up mechanic or
a helping hand.
A helping hand.
Yeah.
So what you do is both players dismount, figure out how many points of models they've lost. So like a fell beast is worth 50 points. Most horses are worth 6 to 10, depending on if they're a hero or just a normal.
You basically
warrior.
have to recalculate your army without the mounts, which will take a couple minutes.
So it takes a little bit.
Not too difficult.
You then check the difference between who's lost what, and based on that point total will be divided by 4, and that's how many goblins that person gets.
Yeah.
So
if I don't take any mounts,
yeah,
and you lose 50 points worth of mounts, let's say.
So I lose a fell beast.
Yeah, you get 50 points worth of goblins.
Yeah.
And there are certain spots that are denoted on the board where you're able to deploy them.
And they're like an ambush force.
Yeah.
To kind of slow the opponent down to make up for the fact that you've lost those mounts. So
the guy that deploys those goblins controls them, but they can't move off of the thing that they were deployed on.
Yeah.
Basically, they're speed bumps.
Yeah. Which is through our first playtest, that's what it was.
And most of the victory points for this mission are for the Goblin King and other stuff on his platform. But I guess when we start going with the mission, we'll
show the different places where you get the points. But yeah, the other thing that we didn't mention is when you come to the board and you go to start playing, each player has to divide their force into 4 separate. They have to basically quarter their force, and then spread the heroes out as evenly as possible. So have 4 even groups,
No.
or as even as possible.
We got rid of that.
We did?
You have to divide your force in quarters by number of models only.
Okay.
You can put the heroes wherever you want.
That's true. That was the one thing we had made a change. So
Yeah.
okay, so you quarter your force, but it's number of models. So you can put all your heroes in 1 quarter if you wanted.
Right.
There's 4 different platforms for people to deploy on, and yeah, and then you just play out the mission.
Yeah.
Based on the victory
So obviously
points.
this is a custom mission, highly custom.
Yeah.
In a tournament of custom missions, basically. So, anyway, that's it. We'll come back and show you the armies and the board.
Yep.
All right.
Well, here it is. This is the board, and the armies have been set up. We've got Don's guys over there. He's playing Isengard. I'm playing Minas Tirith. So I've split my warbands into 4 even groups. The one in the end here has 1 extra guy. That's alright. The guys that are on the black mat are just there so they don't fall off the edge. But they'll move from the place on the ramp when time comes. We've got a bunch of different paths that head back and forth across the mat. Got the Goblin King and his retinue up here. There's lots of different pathways.
So you want me to explain the victory points?
Yeah, I guess we'll do that.
Okay. So we are borrowing 1 mechanic from, what's the mission called? Something by Moonlight?
Yeah.
I forget, but you know which one it is. And it is the following. You score 1 victory point if you have at least 1 hero remaining at the end of the game. If you have at least 1 hero left alive and have killed more hero models than your opponent, you instead score 3 victory points. If you have at least 1 hero remaining and your opponent has none remaining, then you score 5 victory points.
Okay.
So there's 5 victory points available for that. 1 victory point for each successful wound you do to the Goblin King while your models are standing on the Goblin King's platform.
So that's this area here. The platform is basically out there. Not these.
Yeah.
These are the ramps to the platform. They
So
don't count.
you can't stand way over here, for example, and fire at the Goblin King and do wounds to him.
Yeah.
Well, you can, I guess, if you have line of sight, but
Yeah.
you don't get victory points for that.
No. So there's 3 more points there.
Yep.
He does have Blubbery Mass, so you have to remember to use that rule.
Okay, you get 1 victory point for having more more models on the Goblin King's platform than your opponent at the end of the game.
So
Pretty self-explanatory.
just try and get as many guys on that platform as possible. That's worth 1 victory point.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get 1 victory point for having more models in base contact with the Goblin King's spare poop bucket than your opponent at the end of the game.
So, as you can see, it's kind of in the middle of some dark unknown. So
Yeah.
people will have to make some jump checks to get onto this little area to get in base contact.
Yes, and there's a special rule in this scenario called Into the Darkness, and it's models that fall into the black mat area are considered dead.
Yeah, so there's like a black felt mat and then like the black tile here. Anything that is pushed off of here is considered to have fallen to their death.
And the last victory points you can get are 2 victory points if you have more hero models within 3 inches of the weapon cache.
Which is this thing here. It will be painted, it's just we're...
Gotta paint the weapon cache and the poop bucket and
Yeah.
a couple of ladders.
Currently still in the process of finishing off the little things for most of our
it's 2
stuff.
weeks, lots of time.
Yeah, lots of
time.
So as you can see, there's like a triangle of victory points, plus the overall mission of trying to finish off the enemy heroes and keep yours alive.
Okay, so there's a bunch of special rules here. We've talked about a couple of them already. One of the ones that we haven't talked about is darkness, and because we're in Goblin Town here, your line of sight is restricted to 12 inches.
So for shooting and spellcasting?
Yep. there's another rule called goblins are small and so are their caves. And this is the one about dismounting at the start of the battle, and we already talked about that.
Yep.
In this particular battle, I think my Isengard force lost 18 points of mounts, and Garrett's force lost 70 points in mounts. So the difference was 52, which means Garrett got to deploy 13 goblins, and he'll show you where he deployed them.
So we've got specific areas that you can set up on for both sides. For this side, it's this smaller platform, and then this rocky outcropping here. If the other player was to get the number, it's again the same thing. It'd be this platform, and then the rocks up there.
Okay, so the most complicated part of this mission is the Goblin King's platform, the goblins, and the Goblin King. So I'm just going to read what we've got here as a special rule verbatim.
Sure.
And it is called the Goblin King's platform. Okay?
Yep.
So the Goblin King and 18 goblins start on the Goblin King's platform. The Goblin King is deployed touching the throne, and the 18 goblins are deployed by the TOs. Goblins and the Goblin King will activate once an enemy model moves onto the Goblin King's platform. So they don't move before that happens.
So they're here, nothing happens. As soon as they step foot on the platform,
they're into the game, basically.
They trigger.
Goblins and the Goblin King will move after both players have moved, and will charge the closest enemy model, prioritizing unengaged models. Goblins that are unable to charge because there is no room for them will support the closest friendly goblin model in combat. Goblins that are unable to charge or support a fight will not move. Note, goblins and Goblin King will not leave the Goblin King's platform. The Goblin King will charge the closest enemy model on the platform, even if it means he must use his Relentless Advance special rule. The Goblin King will take the path that will trample the fewest number of goblins possible. Note, the Goblin King has 0 might, will, and fate for this game, and the Goblin King will use his two-handed pick for all attacks he makes and will not use any brutal power attacks. And that's it.
That is it. I've already set up my ambushers over there. As you can see, I've got the goblins on the platforms. So we just have to roll off to see who gets to go first.
Alright, let's roll priority. And hopefully this works after all the corrections that we've made.
6.
4.
Okay. I will move my stuff, including the goblins, because they count as my force for this game. Okay, so here is the move. Don has called the heroic move with Sharku and Vrasku because he didn't want me moving the goblins and pinning him in place on the starting ramps. So he's moved up to do that. A whole bunch of Uruk-hai has swarmed this rocky outcropping. I got the goblins set up to hopefully slow them down as much as I can. I called a heroic action with one of my captains, this guy here. He called the heroic march. It's one of the only special heroics that captains can call. Most of them are just march now. Everybody else has moved up. Faramir and his warband are over there ready to climb up. So it's a pretty standard Ministerial list. I moved up, like I say, I marched here. Everybody else just moved up, and we have combats. So we're not going to film every combat just to speed things up a little bit. Okay, so I lost 2 goblins here, one to Sharku and one to the other guys here. Won the other ones and didn't kill anybody. Vrasku beat him,
but didn't kill
him.
3 2s.
I won against the Uruk-hai that was here and killed him with a 6, and then the Berserker and Pikeman killed the goblin they were fighting. So it's that. The one thing we forgot to mention was that the goblins are considered to be armed with hand weapons, so there's no special strikes from them.
And no two-handed.
And no two-handed. So regardless of what weapon the Goblin Town goblins are armed with, they're always fighting with generic hand weapon. Just to speed things up, because it'd be forever trying to decide that. So we're going to roll for priority. A4, A5. Okay, so you're going to have priority this turn. I am not going to call any heroic actions. I might. We'll be back after move. We are back. Don did his moves. I marched with this group again, so the captain called a march. Everybody's moved up. A couple guys made climb checks there. This ranger rolled a 1, so he couldn't climb up or jump. These guys just moved up, they moved up, and a bunch of these guys either climbed up the ladder there or made a climb check to climb up the rocks. And over here, Don has basically tied up the goblins with as many guys as possible, trying to get them killed before they slow them down much more. And same thing over here. He's got a couple. There's a real advantage to having the goblins.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Like,
Yeah.
I had to use 2 points of might over here to do 2 heroic moves so that I wasn't blocked onto the walkways.
Yeah.
So I used 2 might there. I've lost a guy already to those goblins. So if you consider mites are worth 5, I've already lost 20 points. And like these 5 goblins over here are holding up like a huge amount of my guys.
I know.
So hopefully I can blast through them fairly quickly here.
Yeah. Well, the idea was I'm losing like 50 points of my army, so we had to make up
it's
a roll for it.
It's
so
definitely good.
It's pretty good. But yeah, we won't have any shooting because obviously people are too far away. It looks like I'm to the top of this, so I'm going to start going across the platform. So I have a bit of an advantage in getting there earlier, but I don't know if it's a major advantage because I'm going to have to deal with all the goblins. So we'll see.
I was gonna call a heroic combat here, but honestly, I'm not sure that there's a lot of point because you're gonna be ahead of me no matter what.
Yeah,
Even if I won and moved some guys up there, I'm still gonna be behind your guys.
Yeah, I'm already climbing.
Because if you notice over here, you got to do climb checks. Over there, you don't.
Yeah. But I only have 1 ramp getting onto this, where you have the possibility of 2 separate ways of getting here. So.
True. Over here, though, I'm gonna call a heroic combat with Lurtz because he's awesome now.
Yeah, he's a beast. Okay, we will be back after combats. So this is the dead pile. There's no more goblins here. There's 1 left here, and he's there because he killed that 1 scout. Yeah, 2 dead Uruk-hai to the one.
And I killed 2 over here, but I had to use another point of might with Lurtz just to make sure that
so there's still 3 goblins there holding you back.
Yeah. And it seems hard because it's like hard to get up here.
Yeah.
But originally I wasn't even going to have this ladder here. It was just going to be this way, and I added that because when we play tested it earlier.
We had another ladder here, but we figured we'd just change it up a little bit.
I just made one and glued it in.
Yeah. So that's that. Let's roll for priority. You already had it last turn. You got a 2, so you have it again. I'm not going to call any heroics, so we'll be back after moves. Here we are. I've continued to swarm the hill, going after that weapon cache with 2 heroes. Hopefully get it a nice defended position. Make it a little harder for these guys. He's moved them up. He's brought Vrasku over to help. These guys are forming a line up here. I guess ready to shoot guys that jump to the poop bucket.
Yeah, because I'm being stubborn and still taking crossbows with pikes.
Yeah.
The hell with it.
Yep. Because they're already modeled that way.
Yeah, why not? Let's see if they are that bad.
A berserker fighting some goblins there.
I'm on the ladder.
Lurtz is fighting the goblin in a defended position. Because he's higher.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll consult the rules.
That's the rule.
Is it?
Yep. And then I've moved these. I've got a huge bunch of guys here ready to climb up the ladder and get into the platform fight, and these guys are all ready to rush across that platform. So another couple turns and I'll be killing some goblins up top there.
You seem to have a lot more models than I do. I never did the count of models on these 2 armies, but
it's a lot. But yeah, that's that. So we'll do the combats that we have to do. I don't think there's any shooting, so
It's or two combats over here with goblins.
yeah. And then one on that platform. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, we did have a couple of shots. Faramir only moved half, so he took a shot at a goblin on the platform.
Up here?
Yeah, up there.
One.
I was within 12. Obviously, I just want to try and clear out some goblins before I get up there. Don had a throwing spear from his dismounted warg rider, who that model's representing, threw over here and rolled a 5. So almost made it, but didn't quite get it. The goblin that was here is dead. Lurtz managed to kill his goblin, and as you can see, there's a berserker there as well, because the two goblins fighting the berserker on the ladder managed to kill him. Thank you, Defense 5 berserkers.
It wouldn't have made a difference anyways, I don't think.
No, I rolled a 5, so it would have.
Oh, you did?
It wouldn't have been a wound if it wasn't for their drop in defense. But that's that. That's that turn. So priority, I guess.
All right.
4. I get it. We'll be back after moves. We are back after movement. I've got a bunch of guys defending the cliff here. I've moved my archers up to get ready to rain arrows down. Oh, that's why Vrasku didn't move.
You are within 12.
Now I realize the folly of my ways. These guys obviously didn't move because they're going to shoot. I've run a bunch of guys up. I really want that poop bucket. Gotta go for the points. Gotta get as many points as you can every game.
That's worth 1.
One's enough.
I'm being held up here by 2 goblins.
Two
holding up like 20 guys.
I'm almost on the platform, and Don's being held up by 2
So my
goblins.
berserker climbed up here.
Yeah.
Alerts charged up here into this guy's got some pike supports. My captain actually climbed up here, rolled a 6, and so he charged this guy and made room for the next guy, who then rolled a 1.
Yeah.
And then I got one guy coming up the ladder.
Yeah, and
fighting.
because he was already on the ground floor, he doesn't make fall checks.
Yeah.
We weren't 100% sure if you could do the charge, but we assume you can because he rolled a 6. So.
And you could see him at the start of his moves.
Yeah. If it is wrong, we have not completely scoured every
it's my second
section
game
of the
with
rule
the
book.
new rules.
Yeah, like
It's a play test.
we were looking in the climbing rules. It's possible it's somewhere else in the rules that doesn't say that because they have a lot of back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
If we're wrong, make a comment and let us know. It's obviously just a test game, so we don't really care. I have actually moved guys on the platform and have been swarmed by 1,000,000 goblins. Not 1,000,000, but I think there's 8 of them there fighting my guys, which is very
they
bad
all
for
just
me.
move to the closest unengaged model, and then anyone
Supported.
that can move to support moves to support, and if they can't, then they don't move.
So that's why there's that big void there. It's bad for me if I lose because I'm probably going to get kicked off. I do have some shots here though, and Don has some shots as well, but I have priority, so I'm going to shoot first. So Faramir is going to shoot at this goblin who's supporting. We'll be back after this. I don't want to roll this out. We'll be back. Okay, so we kind of did combat and shooting, speed things up a little bit. I managed to kill one orc warg rider with a bow down here. Don fired all this stuff and managed to
Killed this guy who was here.
Yeah, and put a wound on my captain.
With an ERRA bow.
Yeah, good job, strength 3 Uruk-hai bows. Over there...
Cleared out these last 2 goblin holdouts.
Yep. We determined that to be defended, you have to either be like on a ladder attacking, or the defending model has to be on something at least half the height of the attacker, which was not the case.
Over here.
Over there, for alerts. Because you've got like a 1/2 inch foam cuts out there.
Mm-hmm.
Over here, I won all the combats and managed to push them back, not killing anybody, but left it open for me to push forward and not be on the edge. I did make some shots with the archers over there and failed to do anything. So I'm ready to make some jumps to the poop bucket next turn and hopefully start killing some goblins. Stay away from the Goblin King.
I did make a jump here this turn.
Oh, he
My
did, yes.
Berserker jumped across here.
Crazy. Craziness.
Managed to not roll a 1.
Yeah. So we'll roll for priority. 4. Can't see it, it's super shiny.
3.
Okay. We'll be back. Okay, we are back after moving. So we've got some engagements at the bottom of the hill. Most of my guys up here didn't move. Moved my captain around the back there. Sorry for the glare off the white. Down here, I had 2 guys jump across and make it, and one unfortunate fellow did not quite. He lost his balance and fell. Don also tried to jump again, and look at that. He had 1 guy fall into the abyss too. So
ones were rolled.
Yeah, we've rolled ones. He's got a guy ready to climb up the ladder. I've got some guys there kind of defending. Maybe I'll swing around and climb up the ladder and get in behind his lines. He's got heroes there. And up here, I've got the Goblin King fighting Faramir, who is my leader. So hopefully I can fight him off and maybe get a point off of that early in the game. Well, not early, but before you get involved and can start fighting as well.
So far it looks like all the victory points are going your way right now.
So far, I've got 2 heroes up on the treasure trove. I've got some guys by the bucket. And no heroes have died. And I've got more guys on the platform over there.
And you're engaged with the Goblin King, so you have a chance to wound him.
Yeah. No magic sword, though, so he gets his blubbery mass.
We'll see what we can do.
We'll be back after shooting and all the fun stuff. Okay, shooting. Vrasku killed this guy.
Up here.
The Citadel Guard that's down here. I didn't kill anything with shooting.
Don't think so.
No. We had a whole bunch of fights over here. I lost a Citadel Guard. A spear.
To a goblin.
To a goblin. I don't think you lost anybody over here to fights.
I did not. It was a massive push over
shield
there.
fest. Yeah. And then over here, I spent a might to strike with Faramir. And I had to spend another might to
tie the fight
because I rolled a 1 on my strike.
So you were 6 fight, and then Goblin King 6 fight, and then I rolled a 6 and you rolled a 5. You mighted it, spending your second point of might, tied it, won the roll off, and then put a wound on the Goblin King, and it got blubbery masked.
And his spear support poked the goblin and killed the goblin.
Yeah, so I killed the goblin over here with my Urgai, and you killed the goblin over there. So 3 of the goblins on the platform have been killed now.
So
surprisingly few.
Yeah. No, only 2 now. It's only 2. Or did I kill one with shooting? Doesn't matter. We'll count them up and see. But 2. 5. You got it. We'll be back. We're back after movement. We've kind of trapped guys. I moved a guy down to help fight. Moved a bunch of guys over here to shoot down at this stupid face. Moved these guys over to avoid getting shot. Don charged his scout out to block my advance there. Those guys are still by the bucket. Move those guys over to climb up the ladder, which the Berserker has gone up. And I basically moved all of my guys onto the platform. Except for one gentleman who attempted to make a jump across here and rolled a 1 and proceeded to fall down and die. Not in the pit, but to fall damage. So, yay for rolling 1s on jump checks. The Goblin King's being attacked by a bunch of guys. I got Faramir not fighting him this turn. Hopefully that doesn't turn and bite me, but I need to get rid of some goblins here and clear up some space. But that's it. Don's going to do some shooting. I'm going to do some shooting, and we'll do some combats, and we'll be back. Okay. So
shooting. I shot into combat here, killed my own guy.
Yep.
Then he shot back here and killed my guy.
Yep.
So I lost 2 there to shoot.
Over here, I fired down at Vrasku, caused a wound. He didn't roll a die. That was it for shooting. Combats happened here. I lost those 3 guys. Don lost nobody. We did no combat there because he killed me. I killed, I think, 4 goblins. Maybe only.
Yeah, no. Like you killed a bunch through here. I killed 1 over here.
Yeah, and I lost this guy to a goblin.
Or no, I killed the goblin here and lost the fight here.
Faramir and his ranger failed to kill that goblin over there, but my 4 guys did beat the Goblin King by rolling a 4, and him rolling a 3 highest, but failed to do any wounds, so we are back under priority.
But we're on the platform now in strength, so here we go.
We have about a half an hour left in the game. I got 6, so I get to go first. I should call heroics, but we'll be back. We are back. Don has started to make the climb. He surrounded my last warrior on the bottom. I've kind of set up a defensive position here. Syrian charged that guy. Charged these two over here, try and get him down to breaking, but I remembered or forgot that Uruk-hai don't break very easy, apparently.
Nope.
Breaking doesn't matter, but maybe cause one of your heroes to run away or something. And then we've just engaged a whole bunch over here. Don's captain failed to charge the Goblin King, rolled the snake eyes for his courage test, but Lurt said, forget you.
He's like, you go, Lurt, I'll stay here. Guard the rear.
I've got one guy fighting the Berserker on the ladder. I don't know if that was a good idea or not, but we'll see. And then I had guys down here. I'll probably take a shot up at guy right on the edge, but he'll be in the way for the ladder. So we will do shooting and combats and be right back. We're just talking about the time, and we're going to say that this upcoming turn...
With the game lasts 2 hours, and we've played for about 2 hours and 12 minutes, but considering the filming delays... Yeah,
and we've been speeding the filming stuff up too, so... over here, this is my dead pile for the turn. Brasku shot and killed this guy. These guys finished him off. I didn't kill anybody there. The guy that was fighting this Berserker had his head taken off. I think I maybe killed one goblin with Faramir and company over there. You killed a couple goblins. Lurtz struck. Got to fight 7. We rolled a dual roll for everybody. I got a 6, the Goblin King got a 5, and Lurtz got a 4 highest with only 1 might. So I won the combat. My guys managed to put 2 wounds on the Goblin King. He made 1 blubbery mass save, so I scored a victory point for wounding him once so far. And then we'll roll for priority for this being the last turn. And we've got a fair amount of guys up on the platform right now, so that point's going to be something we're going to have to work out. But so I get to go first, and we'll be back. Okay, so the last movement phase, Don's left Rasku there. He's going to fire over at my guys, try and break me, I guess, kill a couple guys. He tried a cheeky move of charging Kyrian with this guy, and only rolled a 4 in his climb check. He's going to throw his spear and then hope to win combat and wound me. And
and then you'd still claim the objective because you would have a hero there.
And I have 3 might with him, so it would be very difficult for me to lose, but it's possible. My 2 rangers jump down here to block any advancement from these guys, so I've pretty much guaranteed to claim that. I've got the poop bucket. That Citadel guard that's at the bottom there is actually fighting that Berserker. I just don't want to have him rest there because I don't want him to fall. Don had called a heroic move over here and basically blocked any chance of me getting to the Goblin King with my guys, and he's surrounded the Goblin King with his, so he's hoping to get 2 victory points, and then we're just counting to see who has what up there for models, but...
So I have the most up there right now.
Okay. We also need to make an addendum to the mission that the Goblin King and the Goblins don't count for the most models on the platform. It's either player that has the most gets the victory point. But yeah, we'll be back after we do some shooting and combats, and you'll see how the game ends. Okay, we are back. Game's over. We had some fights over here. I lost a guy. Don killed one of mine. We didn't do that fight there, but it's okay because they tickled each other.
Well, actually, I could kill your captain, and that's important.
Actually, yes, it is.
Yeah,
and he only has 1 wound and a fate.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Let's do that fight.
I'm
right
shielding.
There. Okay. You shield. I'm gonna roll a 6.
We're gonna roll it out. Oh, I got a 6.
You got a 6. So okay. So
you could still have tied it, but that's fine. Okay.
So
that made sense. My Citadel Guard didn't push the Berserker.
So he's up still there. I forget who won, but nobody died.
I won, but I didn't get past the barrier.
Yeah.
I didn't lose anybody up there, and neither did you. Faramir heroic combated to try and kill that one Uruk-hai with 2 helps, and I failed to wound like a chump.
I won the fight here.
Pushed me back. Off. And then it was like I think we might have killed a goblin or 2.
Yeah. So I struck with Lurtz with my last point in might and got high fight against the Goblin King. I won the duel roll, and we ruled that he was trapped because, like, Faramir is technically trapping him because Faramir is an enemy model for the Goblin King.
Yeah.
So we ruled he was trapped. I did 7 wounds to him.
Yeah.
And Garrett made 6 blubbery mass saves, so I did 1 wound to him.
Yeah.
So we both did 1 wound to the Goblin King.
Yes.
And
so the scoring of the game comes down to nobody killed any heroes.
No.
So we both have one. We both get a point because we have heroes alive.
Yes, and we both get a point because we both did 1 wound to the Goblin King.
Okay, so we're 2-2.
You get a point for controlling the poop bucket.
Yeah.
And you get 2 points for controlling the weapon cache.
With the most heroes, yeah.
And I get 1 point for having more models on the Goblin King's boardwalk than anybody else. So it's 5-3 for Garrett.
For victory points. So
it was actually these 2
yeah.
that were the deciders.
And we figured it was because I had the numbers at the beginning of the game. I still lost more. I think I lost almost double what you did.
I only lost 8 models.
Okay, I lost 15 or something like that, 13. So it was close to double.
Yeah.
But I was able to get to those objectives faster. I did march twice with this warband here to help me get up there faster.
Yeah, you lost 15 over there.
Yeah, so
I'm surprised that there's still goblins left alive on the boardwalk. There's still 5 out of the 8.
Yeah, we were fighting for a long time up there.
Yeah, and on the last turn, like, I shielded with my guys just so that I wouldn't die.
That's what it was. I was doing the same thing.
So I would maintain numbers there.
Because we're like, ooh, we want to try and get that point for the most guys, so we didn't want anybody to die.
Well, because in the tournament that this is part of, it doesn't matter if you win or lose the game. It's all about your victory points.
Yeah.
So even getting 1 victory point is worth a tournament.
Exactly. There's no winner or loser in the game. It's just the amount of victory points that you can score to add to your overall total. So we don't have the normal win-loss in a game. We just have victory points that you tally throughout the day.
So the Goblin King survived.
He did. He survived with 1 wound. So he made, because I did I think 4 wounds to him, and he made 3 of the blubbery mass saves.
Yeah.
So he made
10 blubbery mass saves.
On a 3 plus.
Yeah, so out of 12 wounds, he made 10 blubbery mass. Yeah, that's not too good.
And we didn't even give him might or fate or nothing. It's like crazy. Oh well, that's the mission. That's how it played out. Hopefully this gives you guys a bit of insight. But
it was really fun, actually.
We'll put the camera back on the tripod and have a quick little chat about it. We'll be right back.
All right, so
I think after the changes we made,
it went good. I liked it. I thought it was fun, actually. Yeah. It was good. Like, at first I thought, this is terrible. Like, the goblins are really preventing me from getting on the board. And they killed 3 of my guys, and I think I used 3 might.
Yeah.
Either to heroic combat or just, I think all were heroic combats.
No, the first
2 were heroic moves. Yeah, but even then, like, that doesn't add up to, like, the 52 points.
No.
That you lost in mounts. So that worked pretty well. And you heroic marched twice with your captain over there to get your guys up on top of the hill.
Yeah.
And that's ended up what made the difference. You got into position to, like, prevent me from getting up there. And even if I only had 1 guy over there. It was just weird, though, that no heroes died.
Well, like, my one captain in the middle almost died to shooting.
He did, yeah.
So it could have, and we figured if that guy had died and no one else died, it would have switched it from me having 5-3 to you having 6-5. No, 4.
6-4 because you would have lost a point.
Yeah.
No, because you would have still got the point for having a hero alive.
Okay.
I would have just got 3.
Yeah, so you would have been
6-5.
switched it and got 6. Then
yeah.
I still would have stayed the same. Yeah. Oh, because that captain.
Yeah. I should have kept Vrasku back, whereas he could have shot at him.
Yeah,
that was
actually that's probably what it was, because you could have been firing at him like every turn.
Yeah, but I was firing up on top, trying to clear out those guys up on top of the hill, which was pointless. Basically.
Yeah, my archers really didn't do much.
No.
So.
Yeah.
It was good.
A few guys jumped to their death, like at least two or three. Right?
I lost a guy jumping to the bucket.
We both lost a guy jumping across a chasm, and then you lost a guy that jumped to try to get onto the boardwalk and fell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he jumped from the pathway to the goblin platform and fell and died to fall damage.
Yeah, so I hope people do that in the tournament. It'd be fun.
Well, it was like if I didn't, he would just been sitting on the boardwalk doing nothing. So I was like, I may as well try.
Yeah.
Got to get the boots on the platform, right?
Yeah, and I thought just the basic mechanics for the goblin movement and the Goblin King worked fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like the third time I think we've played it, right? And it worked.
Yeah.
Seems to work fine.
Rars is going to have a lot of questions at this table. So.
Yeah, well, we know we're going to have to stand by a few tables to help the players through it, but you know, that's no big deal. But yeah, I'm sort of shocked that the Goblin King lived and that there were still goblins left on the Goblin King's boardwalk at the end.
Yeah, we didn't really even we had a couple fights between the two of us. But
there were goblins in between us.
Yeah, we couldn't get past them.
Yeah, and I think you fought up there for 2 rounds before my guys got up on there.
Yeah.
Right? In the first couple of rounds, you weren't killing any goblins because they were attacking you 2 guys to 1, and so you were shielding mostly.
Trying to push them back, so I wasn't going to get pushed off
to
the
get
ledge.
room. Yeah. So it went good. So I still have to work on a bit of stuff. I still have to paint the poop bucket and the little island.
Yeah.
And I have to paint the weapon cache. Add those to like the hideous amount of work that I have left to do.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's going to be a long 2 weeks before the tournament.
We've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's it for this play test. Is officially done, and this one gets the rubber stamp.
Yeah.
Canadian Shire approved.
Okay, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
We will. Take care.